So, fun fact, insider trading in the United States is legal. If you're watching this video, you might already know this, but all insider trading filings are publicly available on the SEC website. So this is really interesting because it means I can follow someone like Elon Musk and I can look every time Tesla has public filings. A lot of these are not very interesting, but the ones that are pretty special are the Form 4s. So the 4 forms basically mean it's a report on insider trading that happened for this individual on some date. So I can look exactly how many shares they bought, at what price they bought it at, and how this changed their total ownership. And this happens hundreds or thousands of times a day. But I'm really lazy. I don't like reading paperwork. So I made an AI to do it for me. And you can actually check it out on this website. So basically, every single day, every minute, my AI will scour all of the forms here for every insider buys and sells and compile it into this giant table. So for example, that same trade from Elon, should be able to find it right around here, where he bought $1 billion worth of Tesla. And it's a pretty good trade. You can kind of look exactly what happened right when he bought it. Very profitable, especially since he's up 10%. So almost $100 million on this one trade. We can also look at very interesting patterns. So for example, this is a trade for the Nike exec, Elliott Hill. And he's the CEO and has done very well since this particular trade. Even more interesting, if I look at other insider buys from Nike, Tim Cook, as in Tim Cook from Apple, he made a very well-timed trade a few weeks ago. So on this one trade here, the stock is actually up almost 12%. And I think Tim bought, so he increased his ownership by 90% and he bought about 3 million. So 270K gains in one trade is not bad. So that's kind of the basics of it. Something that I actually use this quite a bit on my own, and this has been the most profitable strategy so far, has been filtering for specific industries and looking just at the C-suite. So in this case, I'm very interested in healthcare C-suite, as in the CEO, COO, CFO, president. And the reason for that is that a lot of these companies, not all of them, but a lot of them, tend to do extremely well right after a big insider buy. So for example, my most profitable trade last year was with Eli Lilly. This was quite interesting because we had multiple C-suites buying right around on the same day. And you can see what happened since then. So I ended up building out a bunch of other features in this app to help me trade and work with feedback. For example, there's kind of a classic AI chatbot where if I want to learn more about whatever's going on here, I can ask questions. I can learn all about the insider filings, whatever's going on here. In this case, Eli Lilly actually did really well because of this GLP-1 and metabolic drug sector. So that can be a really interesting sign if you're looking to understand more about companies before making a trade. The thing that I actually find the most useful is looking into the insiders themselves. So for every single company, I can look at basically the SEC filings of individuals here. So in this case, Daniel is a PhD, and he's the Chief Scientific Officer and Exec Vice President at Eli Lilly. So he's done very well. And we actually have a new leaderboard feature coming up soon, so keep that in mind. Another thing that we have here is just something I find kind of fun. There's a daily market news segment where I look at all the insider trades that happen for that day. This one is actually quite interesting. Eric Sprott, he's been a very successful trader so far for Highcroft Mining, and the stock has been doing really well. It's kind of wild. And lots of trades specifically from Eric. So another piece that I quite like, I just have this watch list set up going. I don't have a lot of things I'm watching on this account, but it's a nice way to see how your stocks would be doing if you're a little bit worried to actually start trading. Here's kind of a full guide of other information, pretty much everything that I've found while I've been working on this. And then if you want to sign up as well for a newsletter, I do more detailed weekly rundowns on all the trades that happen here as well. As well, there's a podcast that shows a lot of similar information. Anyway, I've been really enjoying building this. It's exploded way bigger than I thought it would. So if anyone has feedback on what we want to see next, please let me know. Even if you're not pro, you still get to see all the space information. You have full access to the tables and every insider trade that happens. You can also check out, kind of building this out further, text and trade alerts. So these have been really valuable for me. This is probably the most profitable update I've made so far. Just getting like email and text alerts when I'm seeing the right kind of trades that I care about. But if anyone has other ideas for what to build or what they'd like to see next, please let me know.